I have chosen the theme of self-emptying because it is these 3 days of Holy Week which most reveal to us the self-emptying nature of our God. It is sometimes easy to get distracted from the essence of the gospel revelation. That revelation is the nature of our God. The First Testament showed us that God is both utterly transcendent and simultaneously immanent. The New Testament reveals what is the inner nature of our God. Nowhere is that nature more evident than in the account of Jesus' passion and resurrection. Even before the Gospels were written, St. Paul had summed this up in his letter to the Philippians. And Paul further explained the results of this marvelous self-emptying on the part of the Son. It was to elicit a self-emptying on the part of the Father. St. John describes what was in Jesus' mind and what he did as the meal began on Thursday. Jesus, knowing that he came forth from God and was returning to God, rose from the evening meal. He took off his robe as he had taken off divinity in the Incarnation. He girded himself with a towel as he had girded himself with humanity, and then he washed his disciples' feet to remind them of his self-emptying love which they need to have for others. Washing someone's feet was the lowliest task that could be given to the lowliest of slaves. And this Jesus takes on to show them what self-emptying love is. During the meal, Jesus was thinking in terms of eternity and of the desire of himself and the Father to be always intimately present with us. He threw open the doors of time and space to become always present to us in his flesh and blood. To do something in remembrance in Jewish thought was to make it present again in the now. Jesus was empowering his disciples to repeat his personal sacrifice and our experience of his risen flesh in a continuous manner. While the meal was in progress, Jesus spoke at length about his relationship with the Father and the Spirit and the relatedness of all three of them to those whom they love. As they are leaving the supper, Jesus explains his self-emptying. It is to make himself not just Lord and Master, but above all, friend. In the garden, where they go to spend the night, Jesus asks 3 of his disciples to pray with him, but they fall asleep, and he is left alone in the greatest agony of his life when he surrenders his human will to the awful fate he knows is coming. It is very significant that this takes place in a garden. It was in a garden that humans first refused to embrace self-emptying love and preferred themselves to God. The angel who comes to comfort Jesus is one who assures him of the Father's love. In the darkness, Judas and the temple guards approach to arrest Jesus. He surrenders to Judas's betraying kiss and surrenders his body to the guards, telling them to leave his disciples alone.